Hi, Leo. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Chandler, but this is not your tarot reading, okay? So, you guys, I have had some issues surrounding a relationship that does involve my reading here. So, needless to say, I don't believe that this would have been a clear channel for you, and I don't feel that it was right of me to act as if or pretend or, put personal message in there somewhere. What my guides are asking me to do is just very simply and directly address a situation in my life, and unfortunately, I have to use your reading this week to do so. Okay, so you guys, I'm so sorry. I will absolutely make it up to you. I'm trying to think of ways where I can make it up to you. So if you guys have any suggestions, anything that you'd like to see, maybe I could do a weekend spread for you guys. I would love to do that for you. But needless to say, a slight disclaimer: there's some sensitive content in this video today. As it is a personal message, it does involve a flame of mine and a relationship of mine, and so there will be some disturbing information. It may even be scary, highly sensitive, and off-putting. Okay, so just beware if you guys would like to continue and see what comes up. Maybe you're in for a little bit of a mind fuck today. That is up to you. But as I'm giving this disclaimer, I take no responsibility for how you may feel after this video is done, okay? Totally up to you guys. So, there's a few things I want to say to you. There is a very strong and supernatural force surrounding us right now that is sort of catapulting us both into a lot of change, okay? This, in essence, I've been told, is a sort of preemptive awakening and secondary awakening. And they've given me a day this month, actually, where those things are implemented. But between you and I, and whoever else is watching, I guess, this supernatural force is becoming very strong, and it's attracting a lot of attention. It's not by accident that I have to do this publicly, and you're talking to your friends about it, and we've got lots of people involved, and this is, in essence, the power of influence of this connection. But with a powerful force like that, it does attract lower energies, like moths to a flame, okay? And so we're both having to fight our own battles, and we're both having to sort of fight off the darkness. But what is bothering me personally, right, are the feelings of doubt from you, because I don't feel that you have a lot of faith. You're not trusting me. You're not seeing the gravity of this situation. And through this doubt and you are sort of letting in the darkness day by day. As much as I'm fighting it away and trying to, turn this into a rescue mission and revive what there is left of this, it seems like you couldn't find it more funny. And so I want to say to you that I feel that you're perceiving things through a very false lens, a lens of ego and a lens of deception and darkness. You've been very used to this. This is your typical lens of visibility. And I'm not saying this, it's not personal. It's truly not. If you had only known the darkness that I'd had to go through, which you don't, I will give you an insight into that today. But we both get stuck in these frames of mind But it's not allowing you to see the big picture. It's really not allowing you to absorb what I'm saying. It's almost a defense mechanism, okay, self-preservation, wanting things to remain the same or wanting to be in control. This situation has been out of control for so long that is exactly the false perception that you're in. There has been no control. You haven't known what's been going on. There is a very big, deep, scary picture that you are extremely unaware of. And because of this, you aren't grasping the gravity of the situation. And you may be finding this funny as I'm coming off extremely intense and even desperate in your eyes. This is extremely inappropriate for this type of relationship, the level of the relationship that we're at. Where there is no trust, there can be no respect. And where there is no consideration, there can be no growth. So to start off on a very basic level, which I think you might need to brush up on some of these things yourself, is the energy exchange of a twin flame partnership. Now, it's a very real dynamic because as twin flames, we represent the universal paradox of being whole and separate at the same time. Now, I don't know if you know this, but you and I share the same soul. At a soul level, we are actually never separate, and there are several cords between us that cannot be severed. Now, there are certain things that can really affect this paradox. And by paradox, I mean the mirroring effect. So sometimes we like to think of the mirror as just subconscious or just intuitive or just empathic, but it is actually very real and tangible in the waking world as we experience very realistic situations that have everything to do with this soul connection. So when it comes to addictions, falsities, overuse, or abuse of power, and especially third-party situations, in your case maybe fifth, seventh party, who the fuck knows anymore, it's highly toxic and extremely inappropriate when handling this level of power manifestation potential. And you think it's funny. You've thought it's funny. Now, you may still be stuck in this state of mind that I just don't understand your sexual preferences, your personal preferences, or your lifestyle. I've had lots of time to observe the dynamics of your preferences. And I've had lots of time to consider if that is aligned with me or not. And when it comes down to it, my love, when you have third-party situations, you essentially take the sexual power from this relationship and give it to God knows who. Now, as I, the female, am supposed to remain open to receiving, it typically translates to my power being taken from me and being given by you elsewhere. Now, this may seem like a bit of an ego trip to you still because you are actually looking through that lens as we speak. But when someone's life force energy is so depleted, of really strange things can happen. And you think it's kind of funny. This is not a personal preference that is taken lightly in universal terms. And you can't say now that I simply don't get it. But if you want to continue with this personal preference, knowing what you know now, then you should stay exactly where you are. In essence, you won't be able to leave. It's funny because you seem like you would rather live in a fantasy land filled with people who don't actually look the way they do in real life and may actually live thousands of miles from you, so there's absolutely no chance of real connection or physical contact with these people. And yet you walk out your front door absolutely terrified that you're going to run into your twin at the grocery store. If this is the life that you choose, and if this is the kind of falsity that you think is funny, I would rather go back to hell, being unconsciously raped. I would rather be so low in energy that just about anything can overcome me. I'd like to wake up every day and wonder if I'll make it through another night like that. Then be standing next to you as one of your virtual reality girlfriends. What's quite ironic about twin flame unions is that this mirror is so accurate that you have no choice but to face your deepest fears. And I know you know this universal law that we do manifest from our subconscious. And I hope with this information you're getting the gravity of this situation and how long it's taken me to simply get here. This is a game, and you're really deep in it. But unfortunately, everyone in this game loses when you play like you do. Because you play against yourself. I'll let you go. You can decide upon those personal preferences. And maybe one day you'll understand. But I feel that there are no words that I have for how much pain you've caused me. And it's not funny.